talk about Twilight Princess, the first thing that comes up is usually the tone. It's darker, heavier, more serious than Wind Waker before it, or Skyward Sword after. But for me, the real brilliance of Twilight Princess isn't just in its atmosphere or story. It's in its dungeons, the place where every part of Zelda's design philosophy quietly comes together. These dungeons are more than just puzzles. They're experiences, spaces that feel logical, alive, and emotionally grounded in the world they belong to. And when you look closely, you start to see how Twilight Princess perfected an entire era of Zelda design right before that era disappeared. By the time Twilight Princess released in 2006, the Zelda formula was already legendary. Ocarina of Time had set the blueprint: explore, find the item, use it to solve puzzles, defeat the boss. Majora's Mask twisted that formula into something strange and emotional, and Wind Waker simplified it. Smaller worlds, shorter dungeons, more emphasis on charm. But Twilight Princess was different. It wasn't trying to reinvent Zelda. It was trying to perfect it, to make the most intricate, interconnected, and satisfying version of that classic structure possible, and nowhere is that clearer than the dungeons themselves. What makes a great dungeon isn't just clever puzzles, it's how every element fits together. A good dungeon has rhythm. You enter unsure, gradually gain confidence, and by the end you're moving through the space like you've mastered it. I feel that Twilight Princess understands that rhythm better than almost any other Zelda game. Each dungeon feels built around a feeling. The forest temple's winding halls make you feel cautious and curious, a perfect opening for the game. The Goron mines feel mechanical, industrial, and warm, and by the time you reach the Lakebed Temple, the game slows your pace, teaching patience and control. It's not just level design, it's emotional pacing. What really elevates Twilight Princess's dungeon design is how well their themes tie into their mechanics. Each one tells a story without a single line of dialogue. The Arbiter's Grounds is a place defined by death, by stillness. You move through empty, echoing chambers where everything feels forgotten. And then you find the Spinner, a tool of motion in a world that's completely still. When you ride it through the walls and along ancient rails, you're literally bringing life and movement back to a dead civilization. The Snow Peak Ruins does something similar, but completely different. It's not a temple or a ruin, it's a home. You're wandering through a cold, crumbling mansion that still feels lived in. The puzzles are domestic. You cook soup, fetch ingredients, and explore a couple's home while learning their story through environment alone. And then there's the City in the Sky, a surreal, lonely place where the dungeons stop feeling like buildings and start feeling like dreams. It's airy and strange, yet grounded by the claw shot mechanics that make navigation feel like its own form of freedom. Each dungeon is distinct, but what ties them all together is intent. Every element, from architecture to enemy placement, reinforces the dungeon's identity. The Zelda series has always revolved around tools, but in Twilight Princess they're more than gameplay mechanics, they're storytelling devices. The claw shot gives you vertical freedom. It lets you see the world from above, changing your perspective both literally and symbolically. The spinner revives movement in forgotten places. The ball and chain turns slow, heavy combat into something rhythmic and deliberate. These tools don't just unlock doors, they unlock meaning. Every new item reshapes how you understand the world. And in Twilight Princess, you don't just find tools, you earn them by mastering the dungeon's logic. Each one is a reward for understanding how that space works. When you really stop and think about it, Twilight Princess's dungeon design captures something that's rare in modern games. Each dungeon isn't just a puzzle box to get through. It's a statement about how space, challenge, and discovery can work together to shape how we feel as we play. They're not perfect, and not every idea lands, but there's an honesty to them, a sense that the developers weren't just following formulas. You can tell they wanted to build places that felt lived in. Places that carried meaning, beyond just being another level. The lakebed temple's spiraling chaos, the Arbiter grounds' haunting emptiness, even the Temple of Time's calm precision. They all tell stories, not through dialogue, but through how they make us move, struggle, and finally understand. In that sense, Twilight Princess stands as a reminder of a kind of game design that doesn't hold your hand, but trusts you to find the rhythm on your own. It rewards patience, curiosity, and attention, qualities that don't always fit with how games are made today. And maybe that's what makes it so timeless. The dungeons might not have the flash or the spectacle of modern game design, but they invite you to think your way through them, to feel a slow, quiet satisfaction when the final piece clicks into place. For me, revisiting Twilight Princess wasn't just about nostalgia. It's about remembering what it felt like to be lost in a place that didn't care if I understood it right away. It wanted me to learn, and that, more than anything, is what makes those dungeons so special. And if you've enjoyed this breakdown and want to see more deep dives like this, I've made videos exploring what makes certain moments in games so memorable, from Super Mario Galaxy's atmosphere to Shadow of the Colossus' quiet power. You can find them right here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.